Steamians, what is up? Dan at Starlight here. Thought I'd share with you today a strategy that I use for trading cryptocurrencies. I like to call it the Jenga strategy. So please keep in mind that this isn't investment advice because I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing a strategy that I've used with some success, but maybe I just got lucky, so please invest at your own risk. Basically how this strategy works is I look at coinmarketcap.com and I pretend I'm playing a massive game of Jenga. So there's all these coins or blocks that are stacked on top of each other. And every once in a while, a group of whales come along and they take a block from the bottom, and they put it on top. Then they take a block or a coin from the middle, they put it on top, right? So you see where this is going. And this sort of cycle just kind of continues until the game gets too teetery that it all just falls over. And then you just start a new game of Jenga, right? So I think we played a giant game of Jenga from crypto Jenga, I guess you could call it, from April till July, right? And then there was a pullback. The game sort of collapsed for a bit. I think we're starting a new game right now. I can't predict the future, so I don't really know, but seems likely. So what I do is I look at the coins that I fundamentally believe deserve to be in the top 10 spots, right? Or top 15 spots. And anytime I see one of those coins dropping too far down the list, getting leapfrogged by all these other coins that I've never heard of, I think that coin that's been pushed down, that I fundamentally believe is going to end up here, is now a good buy, right? Especially if it's early on in that round of Jenga. So today, for instance, I was looking at coinmarketcap.com and I scrolled way down the list and I was like, wow, Made Safe's at like 37th spot, Factum's at like 38th spot. I'm like, if you've been looking at coinmarketcap.com for the last year or so, you'll realize that those coins have lived in the top 10, top 15 spots, right? They have good fundamentals. They've been around for a long time. It's very likely that at some point they're going to pop back up there, right? So I think those are probably good buys. Now, I'm not recommending either of those coins. I'm just showing you sort of how this works in general. I mean, it's worked really well for me with Steam. I've always thought Steam deserved to be in the top 10. You may disagree. That's okay. Apply it to the coins that you believe in. But every time I see Steam drop to the 20th spot or 25th on the list or even further, I'm like, wow, this is a really good buy now. And so far that's worked out pretty well. It might not happen overnight. You may have to wait 6 months. You may have to wait 3 months. But, right, if you believe in it and you can wait, then this strategy works pretty well. So again, what you're doing, just sort of to repeat this as clearly as possible, so you're isolating the coins that you believe deserve to be in the top 10 or top 15. And when they move down the list, you know, when you find them in like 30th place, then they become a good buy. And then you just sit on it, throw some money at it, sit on it, and wait for whales or for some news to break for that coin to pop back up into the top 10. When it pops back up there, sell a bit of it for some profit, and then wait for the whole thing to continue. If you think we're getting near the end of that round of Jenga, sell a little bit more. Don't ever go out of the game, in my opinion, right? Because all of this could just jump to the moon at a moment's notice, given our current financial situation in the world, I believe at least. So that's what I'm saying. Look at it through the eyes of a 5-year-old as a giant game of Jenga. Now, if you see a coin that you've never heard of before all of a sudden pop up to, you know, like 10th spot or 12th spot or 8th spot, that's almost always a bad time to buy. It's a good time to buy that coin last week or the week before. So beware of these one-hit wonders, right? These potential scam coins. If they pop up to 10th place and you've never heard of them before, now is a good time to research it and see, does it have good fundamentals, and then wait for it to go down the list and get leapfrogged by a whole bunch of other coins, right? And then remember that coin when it gets down the list. You're like, oh, that's one of those coins that will probably jump up here again at some point, right? Maybe Lisk's a good example of that. I remember when Lisk made a huge splash, you know, jumped everything, was all of a sudden way up in the top 10, and I was like, well, I kind of missed the boat on that. Now it's not a good time to buy it. But, you know, for the last half year or so, it's been slowly moving down the list, and I'd have to recheck the fundamentals on it, but if I looked at it and it still looked like it had really good fundamentals, then it's probably a good buy, right? Again, apply this to the coins that you're doing your research with, not the coins that I'm saying. I'm just sort of saying what's coming to mind right now. But the general idea is, you don't have to overcomplicate these things. Throw money at coins that, according to this list, are undervalued, and wait for them to rise to the top, and then make some money. So that's the Jenga strategy. Dan at Starlight. Peace out.